It's even like a lookout up there.
Yeah.
Oh, the water's just there. I thought it was like down further than that.
No, that's why we could hear it last night. Okay. So we're at Point Samson. We're staying in the Cove Caravan
Very
Park.
nice caravan park. I remember not to yell too because I've got this thing on now.
I know, we keep forgetting about that. Sorry. It's right there. Look at the sun behind me. That looks cool. All right. And the Cove Caravan Park backs onto Honeymoon Cove.
So we're pretty much right on the point here, like a head, aren't we? Like Scott's Head and things like that.
Yeah.
There's a lighthouse out there. So what island was that one called?
Jarman Island is just out there.
Oh, there's another island next to it over there as well.
And it's where the lighthouse is. And she said the other island that you can see, they just call it the Rock. It's got a name and I've written it down.
Not the
But they
Rock.
just call it the Rock Island.
The Rock.
But Jarman Island's where the lighthouse is.
So we got crocodiles here too?
You can swim here.
Because I haven't seen any signs for crocodiles.
No.
Still got those big anchor points for a tie caravan down in case we'll
have to show you those.
cyclone comes through.
Yeah.
I can't get my words out today.
So this is Honeymoon Cove.
Well, that water's not a very nice colour, is it?
Well, the tide's out.
Broome water was so beautiful, wasn't it? It was a light
Broome was
bluey,
gorgeous.
and this is like a greeny colour. And that looked like muddy colour just there. And hopefully we can have some fish and chips tonight for dinner.
Yeah, we've got to go over
There's
to
a
the
tavern just up there.
Tavern for fish and chips.
And maybe some prawns from the trawler.
Yep.
Oh, look, an old train. There's a few boats out there. I can see like, I think three.
Look at the size of the jetty out there.
I was going to
John.
say, that's a long jetty. Wonder if you can walk on that jetty. Can you walk on that jetty?
Don't know. We might have to come back down here when there's a high tide. I think it would be so much prettier.
On the low tide?
This
What,
is
high
low
tide?
tide now.
You mean on the high tide come back?
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said low tide.
No.
Oh, I wonder if that thing works.
Oh.
We should walk out to there.
Oh, this wind. Oh my goodness. Can you see anything?
It actually works. I reckon. There's probably a proper little beach there as well. Wow, that breeze is nice.
Breeze? You calling this a breeze, John?
Okay, well, okay, the cyclone is nice. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Me, myself, I just don't know if I'd be able to live in a cyclone-prone area. How about you?
No, I don't think so.
We're only 200 kilometres from Port Hedland. Going to look at the fish and chips, check the fish and chips out.
Sure.
I wonder if they sell prawns in there as well.
Yes, they have king prawn cutlets.
No, I just mean like fresh prawns, like they sell like, you know, just fresh off the trawler
I don't
prawns.
know. They have palmy
No, I'd love a couple of
and they have fish and chips. and-
king prawn cutlets, yum.
And apparently you can do takeaway if you want, but you know.
Well, we could eat up there if we like. We'll check it
I
out.
think we'll eat up here
See what it's like. See what time they close.
because you can just walk to it.
If they're open, obviously, because normally when we come to places they're closed. Which way do you go?
Well, do you want to go to the tavern? Have
Yeah,
a
we'll go.
look?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, we'll see how much the fish and chips are.
Okay.
Depends if you want to cook or not. If you want to cook, you can cook, or if you want to eat out, we'll eat out.
Sorry about the camera angle then. I can't see. I know I tell you all the time, but with my sunglasses on, it must be the Polaroid stuff, and I can't see the back
I can
screen.
see. I can see. I'm on a polarised.
I know you can. You keep telling me.
No, you
that.
just said your sunglasses were
I
polarised.
can't. Well, they
I
are,
can. Mine
but
are
I can't
polarised. I can
see.
see them.
What? Hang on, I'll turn it around. Can you see that screen okay?
Well, I lift my glasses like that. I can.
Yeah. See,
The front, I can see the front screen.
I can see the front screen.
Yeah, but just not the back one. Yeah, you're right.
Anyhow,
Wow.
when I'm filming
How much that
it,
hurts saying you're right. It almost kills me, eh?
I love it.
Especially when it's on camera.
But yeah, I have a bit of trouble. So back there, I couldn't see what I was looking at. There is the tavern. John just got a fly in his nose.
Bloody flies.
We're at the tavern. I've checked out the menu. Dinner doesn't start till 5:30. we're going to make a decision later if we're going to eat here,
Got an
because
hour
it's a
to
bit
go,
pricey.
roughly.
But we'll just see. But look what's here, a big crab.
I'd say that used to be a fountain.
I wonder if in the dry season they have that all
His eyes gone.
filled up. Poor
I still,
little
can't, I
crab.
still can't get used to this wet and dry seasons, eh?
And there's a plaque over there, John.
Let's go and have a look.
Nice beer garden.
It's nice to have grass. Well,
Yeah.
that sort of grass. Oh, dogs prohibited on beach.
Tide is definitely out.
Do you think so?
Yeah. All right, let's go to that plaque that's down there. Okay, this plaque says Walter Padbury and Michael Samson left Fremantle August 8th, 1863 in the Tian Sin. It was 208 tonnes. So the Tian Sin was the boat
Yep.
that moored outside of here. Captain Jarman was the captain. Anyhow, Michael Samson landed at this point on the 31st of August 1863,
Long time ago.
erected by his son Sir Frederick Samson on the 31st of August 1963. Okay, so that's this. All right. So there's a convenience store next to the tavern. Open 8 o'clock to 5:30. They have bait, ice, fuel, ice cream, snacks, goods.
And barista coffee. You didn't read the barista coffee out, did you?
Barista coffee.
And they got flies.
I'm not going to film it.
Oh, I missed my ice creams.
2 ice creams and a bag of chips. Put the bag of chips up, John. It's the bigger bag. $20-something.
We'll be eating in the caravan tonight. We've just blown our budget for tonight.
It's nice to have an ice cream though.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
Got no milkshakes though. Why don't people have milkshakes?
Anyhow, we're going back to the caravan.
Up to the aircon.
Okay, it's the next day, and we're taking one for the team. What's the temperature so far, John?
41.
And it's only 10:30. But
It's 41 at 9 o'clock.
we want to show you what Point Samson looks like, and
No, not really. We want to stay in the air caravan. That's what we really want to do.
we do. But like I said, we're taking one for the team to show you guys
Well, we
Point
could have
Samson.
taken one for the team. I could have stayed back in the caravan.
Oh yeah, if you don't want to come out for the
Let's
day.
go. No.
Okay. All right. So we've pulled up at the proper honeymoon cove. I thought back where we showed you yesterday with that wharf real quickly. That's if I put that in your video because the sound mightn't be the greatest.
Oh, it was very windy yesterday. So the winds died right down now to nothing.
Honeymoon Cove is an little inlet, and you can actually swim here. So there mustn't be crocs.
There's a danger sign over there. I can't really see
Keep
it.
off,
Yeah, I can't see
clear of navigation. Keep off and.
that. I don't know.
I wonder if it's that thing there, the navigation pole.
I don't know.
You're not allowed on there.
Surely there'd be crocs and irukandji, jellyfish and all
I'd
that
say
sort
the
of thing.
jellyfish, but maybe we're away from the croc part now.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're going to have to ask the ladies in the office.
Yeah.
But anyhow, we'll jump out and we'll just take you down and show you Honeymoon Cove.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's toilets here. All right, let's see. Danger, underwater hazards at base of structure. Please keep off and clear of navigation aid. Penalties apply. All right, so that's that thing out.
Can't camp here.
No camping. But actually, it's quite beautiful little cove, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I didn't have my joggers on, I'd stick my feet in. Might come down later this afternoon, John.
Yeah.
This is only, we've driven down. I believe you can walk down from the caravan park along that trail.
track.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that far.
Okay, John.
Yeah.
Because the flies, there are a lot of flies, because they're driving us nuts. I thought, before we head off anywhere, I'll tell you a bit about Point Samson.
And I've got a chair, beauty.
And you've got air conditioning.
I know, right? I'm on a winning streak today.
All right. So what information I found was Point Samson was named after Michael Samson in 1863. Michael was a member of a prominent Western Australian family who accompanied the district's first settler, Mr. Walter Padbury, on his journey in 1863. Mr. Samson was the second officer of the ship called the Tien Sen, which, if I put that clip in of yesterday in the video, you would have already heard that.
Oh.
The town has a very active history as a deep water port, handling the third largest annual tonnage in Western Australia.
Tonnage?
Tonnage, you know, like tonnage. Do you say tonnage or tonnage?
You said tonnage. I'm pretty sure you said tonnage.
Tonnage. The port of Point Samson and its deep water jetty were built in 1903/1904 to service Roebourne, Wittenoom and Wickham. So I think that's what I got about Point Samson.
And we're also going to see if we can find some prawns.
Yeah, there's fishing trawlers. I think we said that yesterday too. But we're going to repeat ourselves because, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to put yesterday's footage in yet because it was windy. All right, we're going to now head to a town called Roebourne or Roebourne. Depends how I think it's Bourne because I had a Dr. Bourne that operated on me, and that's how you spelled his name, Dr. Bourne. So maybe it's Roebourne. Okay, that's 15 minutes away. We're going to head to Roebourne.
Okay, let's go.
That's called Johns Creek Boat Harbour. That's what it was called, wasn't it? Was that what it was called?
About time I got something named after me.
Was that what it's called, Johns Creek?
I don't know, you're telling the story. So what does this say over here? Factory direct.
Oh, here's a seafood place. Hang on.
Doesn't say how much for it.
Fish, scampi, prawns, scallops, oysters, bait and ice. I don't like prawns. John loves prawns. Pop it in the comments below.
More for me.
Who likes seafood? I don't. I'll eat fish from the fish and chip shop, but I don't particularly like buying fish and cooking it ourselves.
I like seafood, so I don't have to pop it in the comments.
But you don't. Hang on a minute.
Do I pop it in the comments?
You can pop it in the comments if you want. But it is Johns Creek Boat Harbour. Our son-in-law wants to catch.
How's it spelled? J-O-N or J-O-H-N?
J-O-H-N.
Oh, they spelled it wrong.
So our son-in-law wants to go and catch some lobsters.
Yeah, not
He's quite excited about that, but John doesn't like lobsters either.
I don't like
And my daughter and I don't like seafood, so...
That's not, maybe it was the way they were cooked when I had them, because sometimes if cooked the wrong way, they're rubbery or something.
Maybe we should try. Maybe when
we should try.
Maybe I should try.
Put it in the comments. If we get more than, 10 comments, Tracy has to eat some lobster. And if we get 30 likes, she definitely has to eat some lobster.
Oh my gosh. Alright.
Guys, please.
Okay, let's go to Roebourne. Okay, John.
Tracy.
We've got to Roebourne.
Roebourne.
Bourne. I reckon it's Bourne.
You know what?
What? Pop it in the comments below. Is it Roebourne or Roebourne?
I like that.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a bit about Roebourne before we get out, because we are on Mount Welcome Lookout.
And it is now 43 degrees.
Yes. So on this lookout, there's silhouettes of six Aboriginal silhouettes. 6 silhouettes of Aboriginals. Okay, I'm going to show you. These represent the immediate neighbours of the local Galuma people. Each Aboriginal has
1, 2, 3, 4,
there's
5.
one down there.
Oh, 6, okay.
Each Aboriginal has a spear in his hand, and they are each facing towards their country.
Oh.
Okay. Roebourne was named for the first WA Surveyor General John Septimus Rowe. Okay, so now we're going to get out and have a look at the lookout and have a look at the Aboriginals.
Okay.
So we've come down to our first silhouette of an Aboriginal man, and I presume, John, that top is their people name, do you think?
Oh.
Nagluma. We'll have a look and see. So here
It probably
he
would be,
is,
I don't know.
and he's overlooking the lowlands. And here's the Galuma
Lowlands, all lowlands down there.
Maiga, overlooking his country down here on the lowlands. There's also a prison out here in Roebourne.
Yeah, it's a little
Roebourne
tiny
prison.
one.
A little tiny one, and it like the fence around it isn't that.
Oh, it'd still be hard to get over, but yeah, very low.
There's no barbed wire or anything though.
Yes, there was.
All right, we're walking up to the top of the lookout.
Prison with no barbed wire. Really?
Okay,
Really?
this is the Kariyara man looking east towards his homeland. This is the Yinji Bandi man. He's looking south towards his homeland. This is the Benijima man. He's looking south towards his homelands.
Can't believe people leave rubbish everywhere they go.
Oh, it's rotten.
Geez, that annoys me.
This is the Karama man looking southwest towards his homeland. This is the Mardanthanira man looking west towards his homeland. Okay, this is the Yabarara man. He's looking northwest towards his homeland. I think they're pretty cool. John's gone back to the car. The flies are horrendous. We actually saw on the news last night about the flies. They're saying that the dung beetles aren't around yet. The flies are getting moved towards us because of the wind, and the dung beetles haven't hatched yet to do their job, so there's more flies. It's very interesting. All right, I'm taking one for the team. John won't get out of the car because of the flies. And we're trying to find the jail. We keep going round and round in circles, and we've come across the Mount Welcome homestead. The homestead at Mount Welcome is situated near good water supply at the crossroads between the port of Cossack and outlying stations. It soon became the hub of the community, and steadily the town of Roebourne grew around it. So 100 metres to my right in Hampton Street are the remains of what was a handsome, spacious stone villa. It was built by Augustus Stanford Rowe, the son of Surveyor General Septimus J. Rowe, in approximately 1889. A.S. Rowe was a prominent resident of Roebourne, involved in pearling, shipping and commerce. Later he became the resident magistrate and Supreme Court judge. So I'm going to try to find that, but I'll just pop my camera over this fence. Hopefully you can see that. Hampton Street, I've got to find Hampton Street now. Okay, we've come across a whole heap of old buildings. We're presuming might be the old prison, do you reckon, John?
I think it's the old jail, yeah.
Everything's closed. The old shutters on that building.
Yeah.
It's pretty harsh here today at 43 degrees. Imagine living out here back in the day.
Oh, no, thank you.
You know. This here was a courthouse, It's now the adult corrections community
Digging
something.
through this way. No, that is.
Welcome to Roebourne, founded in 1866. Yeah, this was the prison. Swan Wiki Camps, I've seen that it's open only on Saturday and it's a $5 admission. But the lady at the caravan park said she's not sure about that because it's wet season now.
Well, how many times have we been places where it says it's open and it's been closed?
Yeah. So see the fence up here, the barbed wire fence? Well, the prison that we've seen that is in operation doesn't have fences like that. Oh, look at the old stairs. Wow. I wonder why they made stairs so high back then.
Probably people
Good
were
for
a
your
lot
glutes.
fitter back then.
Hey?
Probably people were a lot fitter back then, I don't know.
I don't know. I love these old buildings with the stonework. Last little bit about Roebourne. Now it is still 43 degrees. Shocking. That jail is octagonal shaped. So one guard could supervise all 4 wings. The building was intended to hold 14 prisoners per wing, but it often housed up to 40 prisoners.
40? Is that
Yeah.
all? Well, I suppose it's only a small jail.
And a bit more about Roebourne. The Withnell family were the first European family to arrive in the area, settling at the foot of Mount Welcome in April 1864. And I think that's all I've got about Roebourne.
That's it?
So we're on to our next
Adventure?
town. John's dying. He doesn't want to get out of the car. So if you see me by myself, it's because Mr. Pussy there doesn't want to get out of the car.
Can you see the sweat literally pouring off me like a
Suck
waterfall?
it up, princess. Suck it up.
Oh, I want to be a princess in aircon.
Okay, we're going to go to the next town. Yep. So you can talk.
It's the old Roebourne Post Office, 1887. Just don't.
John,
Tracy.
we are now in the town of Cossack.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Cossack is a designated museum town.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone lives here anymore.
It's a ghost town?
Well,
Are there ghosts in there?
I don't know. There's ghosts, but it's a ghost town because nobody lives here.
I
So
don't blame them. It's 45-degree heat now.
it is now 45 degrees. So we're going to talk to you about Cossack while we're sitting in the car in the air conditioner. We'll get out and we'll show you. We'll get back in the car and drive to another spot. How's that?
I think it's better if you get out and show everyone and I'll stay in the car.
All right. Cossack was established in 1863 as the northwest.
1863?
Yeah.
Wow.
As the northwest
Do I
first.
listen to you?
Hey, you do.
Sometimes.
Established in 1863 as the northwest's first port for the pastoral and pearling industries. Cossack is situated at the mouth of the Harding River. In 1863, British-born Australian pioneer named Walter Padbury landed his ship, the Tianjin, near Cossack. Over the years, others followed to settle here.
Why?
I don't know.
It says road closed up there again, but yeah, why? I don't know.
Okay, so I think because of the port. That was the whole idea of it. That's why they decided here.
Port.
So we'll go and look at this building. We'll come back in and I'll tell you a little bit more about Cossack. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is the old schoolhouse and tramway.
Huge school.
It's a huge school.
That breeze is even hot.
It is, isn't it? I wonder if you can get in there at all.
I doubt it.
Look how tall how high it is, John.
So the heat rises.
Go and stand up near
There's a plaque there.
Go and stand up near the door. That's a huge. Would that be the door? Like that's a huge step.
No, I think that was a window, probably, I would say.
But that is a tall building. Oh, Can you see? Oh, bugger. I wonder if that's like for cyclones.
Oh, what have we got around here? There we go, we can get in. Jesus. Jesus. Uh-oh, more coming.
Is it coming out? It's not coming. You
Oh, here
said-
he comes. You coming? No, here he comes.
There he goes.
I think that was the last one. Okay. Not very big in here, like it looks bigger outside.
I wouldn't imagine.
Oh, that's another. Oh, that's that door I tried to. Is that door I tried to get into?
Yeah. I wouldn't imagine there'd be many kids that came here.
Well, 1, 2, 3.
I
1,
don't
2,
think
3,
they're the
4,
original
5,
desks, do
so
you?
5, 10, 15,
There's your
17.
fireplace.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Right, I'll just go look at the sign and we'll have a look at that tramway too, hey? This first school was built in 1883 and was made of wood and iron. Mrs. Bessie Rouse was the first school mistress. A cyclone in 1894 destroyed the building and children then had to travel 15 kilometres on horse-drawn tram to attend school in Roebourne. So this one here in 1896 or 1897 was built, consisting of a single classroom and an adjacent storeroom. The first teacher in charge of the new school was Mr. Niebel, who lived for a short time in a tent at the rear of the building.
Ah.
Mr. Niebel usually dressed in shorts, a light shirt and a pith helmet, a style of dress that was most unusual at the time. The school was closed periodically over the years, sometimes due to the lack of school students. In 1900, a news article stated the Cossack government school, having failed to secure the requisite average attendance, has been closed. The government is performing a graceful act in conveying scholars from thence to Roebourne School and back by tram free of charge. In 1897, the school was the scene of tragedy when 10-year-old Laura Pearl, P-I-E-R-L, I think it says, stood on a rusty nail while playing in the schoolyard. The wound became infected and the child died of tetanus or lockjaw. The little girl was the daughter of Police Constable Pearl and she's buried in the Cossack cemetery, which I'm going to go and look through, and you'll be able to see that walk through on our cemetery channel. John will more than likely stay in the car. So anyhow, we'll look at this tramway.
Also, I just want to say it's 45-degree heat. You can't touch this DJI Action 4 thing.
No.
And it hasn't even given the ghost up. It hasn't stopped. It's just powering on, eh?
We're not sponsored by DJI either. We're just giving you
Just
guys.
just because
We're
we've
just-
heard so many
yeah.
GoPros overheat. This one hasn't overheated.
We just want to update you guys on everything.
Touch
hey,
wood.
You should have put your net on.
Oh yeah, it's alright. I'm tough. Not really.
All right, the old tram. Look at the springs, John. Old leaf springs.
And they're still going today, hey? That's one thing, technology they haven't really replaced.
Yeah.
Well, they have by coils, but they still use it in today.
All right, I'll go back down to that sign.
Which sign?
Just back to the sign I was reading, and I'll tell you what it says about the tramway.
Yes.
All right, the tramway. Transport is always an expensive problem in the northwest. Sea transport was the cheapest and carting goods the most expensive. To help with transport costs, Cossack and Roebourne were connected by horse-drawn tram in 1887.
Oh, horse-drawn.
The tram replaced cartage between the two towns, reducing freight from 25 shillings a tonne to 12 shillings and 6 pence.
Wow.
The tram ran on narrow gauge tracks with thin
I'm
light
done.
rails. When first built, the tramway came across the flats behind the town, past Galbraith's store and down Pearl Street to a tram station where the Bond store now stands. In 1887, when the Customs House and Bond store were built, the route changed to come into the town at a point beside the school. It then ran down Fraser Street and the Strand to a new tram station close to the pubs and the wharf. In 1909, the Public Works Department took control. The car bar was removed from Cossack to Point Samson and the first steam locomotive arrived. In about 1910, a 3.6 gauge line was built from Roebourne to Point Samson. All right, John, I'll tell you a little bit more about Cossack before we go down further down the road.
Yep.
Cossack was one of the key sites for the booming pearling industry across the region in the 1800s. Records show that in the early 1870s there were up to 80 pearl luggers operating in the region, which led to an influx of Japanese, Chinese and Malay people who migrated to work in the harsh conditions of the industry.
They would have been harsh conditions. I'm surprised anyone lived past 50.
Down there is where we just came from, that schoolhouse. And this is the Tien Sen lookout. Look at that water. Oh, this looks out to the Indian Ocean.
My hat. Forgot my hat.
Should put your hat on. Is that your new hat?
My new hat. It's an iPhone hat.
Okay, let's have a little look, see what this says. Looking across the inlet to your right, so there's the inlet.
You actually got right and left right for a change.
I
Didn't
know.
you get it wrong?
Behind the cleared mangroves is the site of the Leprosarium. This section of Cossack was gazetted as a quarantine reserve in 1910 for leprosy. And this appears to be the first time that a lazaret was established on the mainland. This lazaret was run by the medical department and remained across the inlet from 1913 to 1931, when remaining patients were transferred to Darwin. The buildings and materials were slowly demolished and disposed of over the years. What are you looking at in that
building
picture?
there is still there. This house is gone.
I wonder what building that is,
That
John.
one's gone. That one's still there. That one's still there. And most of them over there are gone.
Also on this side of the hill lie the camps of the Aboriginal people, central to the early stage of the pearling industry. The local Aboriginal people were very important to the success of the northwest colonisation. The settlers were prevented by law from bringing cheap convict labour with them, leaving them at the mercy of high freight rates and high labour costs. The Aboriginal people of the Harding River area, which were the Garluma people, were therefore incorporated with the colonial labour force surprisingly quickly and had mainly replaced expensive white labour within 2 years of settlement.
So what would we have done if there wasn't for, in the early days, gold, pearls. And
Opal.
opal? Yeah.
Yeah. If you turn your back on the town and look over the back of the hill, you'll see the remnants of a small stoned one-room house perched improperly on the rock. At the foot of the hill, the butcher's slaughterhouse stood, and beyond it was the stockwells and the town wells. So how cool is that? Okay, let's go look at the rest of Cossack. The last residents of Cossack left the town in the 1940s.
1940s.
The town was shut down. The first policemen to arrive in town were 3 water police, and they arrived in 1866. The courthouse, was it that one?
They had water police back then.
Yeah.
Ah.
So the courthouse, which we will show you, was built in 1895, and that's now a free museum. And the Galbraith store was built in 1891, and that was the first building erected from local bluestone. And Galbraith's is a store that started in Scotland.
Scotland,
Yep.
of course.
Yep. All right. Cossack Wharf was built in 1870. Customs House, 1895. the police barracks, cookhouse and lockup, 1898. So we'll take you for a little walk around town.
Yep.
This is Galbraith's store. How cool is it, John?
That is unbelievably
I love
cool.
it. Galbraith & Co. advertised as being merchants, shipping, stock, mining and general commission agents who also bought and sold pearls and pearl shell. Galbraiths were based in the southwest. Therefore, this building can be said to represent the takeover of the northwest frontier by outside interests. As people came to the northwest in the 1860s, died, moved south or was simply bought out, the ownership of the northwest industries changed. Pastoral stations also changed hands and merged until by 1898, 15 mainly southwest owners monopolised the land in the northwest districts. At the same time, the pearling industry and coastal trading were taken over by British interests.
I gave in, put my hand net on, fly net.
Cossack stores, as demonstrated by Galbraith's, ended up in the hands of Fremantle and Perth merchants. The building here was restored in 1984 and it's been used by the Cheditha Aboriginal community as a workshop, art gallery and cultural tourism outlet. While earlier stone buildings in Cossack were built of sandstone collected from the beachfront, Galbraith's store is unique in that it was the first building to be constructed of local ironstone or bluestone. Completed in 1891, it was used for the storage and sale of general supplies. So here's the inside.
Really?
It's surprisingly cool in here. Like really cool, actually. Okay, Johnny, this is the old post office and telegraph office.
I need some shade.
This building is thought to be the first stone building in Cossack. It housed a chemist and the post and telegraph office on the top floor, and customs house and the bond store on the ground floor, until the customs and bond store moved to their new building in 1897. It is built of mainly friable stone and local shell limestone and was originally constructed without a veranda. By the time it was built in 1884, Cossack was a thriving town, but it was a town built of wood. People living at the port began calling for a post office in 1872 as they had to wait for their mail to reach them from Roebourne. They got a postmaster who also worked as the port tide waiter, but had to wait for the actual post office. The completion of this building was more than a convenience. It meant the telegraph had arrived and the northwest frontier had taken a giant step in development. Wonder what this building was?
I don't know.
This was the Northwest Mercantile Store.
Cut corners. Oh, store.
It was a store. The stone building is the last in a long line of buildings on this lot, all associated with commerce. The lot boundary extends forward into the Strand, but this part was never used. The first buildings on the lot were Howlett's store, built in early 1872, and an associated building which may have been his warehouse or hut for his Asian divers. The buildings were flooded and the store unroofed during a cyclone in March the same year. The two buildings were located between the fence and the road, and an archaeological excavation in 1989 uncovered part of a crushed limestone floor believed to be that of the store.
They actually dug it down into the ground.
Yeah, they
So it was
said
like
there
a-
was an archaeological dig. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And stairs going down there.
I wonder if it was like their storage place or something.
Oh, it would have been a place, I reckon, maybe for cyclones or to get away from the heat. I don't know.
Want to go over? Okay, this spot was the steam lighter and tram station. Look behind you and you will see all that remains of the wreck of the Cossack steam lighter, the Silver Star. So I kind of don't know, because that's behind me. There's nothing there, and that's behind the sign, and there's nothing there. So the location for the plaque was chosen at a spot where the boiler from the steam lighter could be seen through the mangroves. The steam lighters were an important part of the Cossack port system, ferrying passengers and freight from ships too large to enter the inlet. The new location from the tram station can also be seen from the plaque, as can the sea wall. The wall is important in the development of the Strand, as before it was built the road had to cross tidal areas, and the buildings adjacent it could easily be flooded. Once the wall was built, Cossack buildings moved off the high ground to the edge of the street, and the Strand became an important town road and not just a freight route out of town. So there's really not a lot left of this town, hey? John can't handle this heat. He's sitting in the shade over there. And I've got to admit, I've got sunscreen on the top half of my body, but that sun is biting into my legs like you wouldn't believe. So Cossack has a cafe.
In the middle of nowhere. And guess what?
They're open from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Wednesday to Sunday. What day are we on today?
We are Friday, and it is 1 o'clock.
And guess what?
Hang on, let me think about it. They're closed. Yeah.
Closed early today.
These must be all for cyclones and stuff, I reckon. High winds.
What did I say this place used to be? This used to be
I don't know.
Customs House and Bond Store. There's a lighthouse out there. Don't know if you can see that little island with the lighthouse.
So you're not walking up the top there?
No, I can't walk out there anymore. I've called it a day. It's 1:30. It's 46 degrees.
I'm struggling to walk,
And,
personally.
I can't do it anymore. We've taken it for the team. Tomorrow morning we'll come out and do the rest. But anyhow, we're at Reader Head Lookout. So we had to come through Cossack to get to Reader Head Lookout. And I just tried to show you that lighthouse. Now that is Jarman Island Lighthouse. It's one of the Pilbara's most important historic landmarks. It stands 50 feet tall, with the lantern elevated to 96 feet above sea level.
Wow.
If you can hear that noise in the background, it's the air conditioner, and we're not turning it off.
And it's pretty much flat out.
96 feet above sea level. Visibility of the lighthouse was to a distance of 15 miles. As the lighthouse lamp required winding every 2 hours, 2 lighthouse keepers had to live on the island until the lighthouse was automated in 1907. And then the lighthouse was restored in 2003.
It'd be a very isolated job out there, wouldn't it, really?
It would be.
Like, it's not even hooked up to land.
No.
It's low tide.
Just an island.
It is low tide.
So, yeah, that's about the lighthouse. And I think that's all for Cossack. Anyhow, John, let me just see. Where were we? Cossack. Yeah, I don't know. That's probably just a lookout. It's got a sign, but I can't do it. So anyhow, we've made an executive decision. Little Mr. Burpee. Sorry, we have pumped out so much drinks. Like, oh my God. God, we sound like whingers.
We do.
But we told you we would show you warts and all, and that's it. Like,
anything I can say is don't come out here this time of year.
Yeah.
It is unbearable.
Yep. We're not going to sugarcoat it, hey?
No,
it is what it is.
Can't sugarcoat this.
Okay, Danny, let's
go.
Let's go back to the caravan, crank up that air conditioner, have a sleep because I'm so tired, and might go in the pool later.
Okay.
Okay, John.
Yep.
We are taking one for the team again today, aren't we?
It's 40. Can you turn it around and show everyone it's 41? And it's only 9:45. Can you do that? Is that hard for you to do?
On to the show. We are in a town
Show
called...
must go on.
The show must go on. We're in a town called Wickham, which was only 7 minutes from Cossack, we're not Cossack. Where are we staying? Point Samson. It's only 7 minutes from Point Samson.
Yeah, I've just looked in the mirror and there's so many people lining up for autographs.
Okay, Wickham was named after John Clements Wickham, the captain of the HMS Beagle. He surveyed the northwest coast of Western Australia in 1840.
Finally something named after me.
If your name was John Clements Wickham.
Well, they've got something wrong, obviously, along the line. But
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, the John be right. You got it wrong though.
They've spelled that wrong too. All right, so at the beginning of Wickham, there's like a pullover bay, like when we turn into the street for Wickham. Now, I don't know, did I tell you, Wickham is actually a small mining town, but there is a Woolworths here.
Yeah, I can't believe there's Woolworths here.
We haven't seen it yet.
There's actually a few more houses here. There's a few more houses here than you think.
Yeah. Anyhow, like I said, when you turn off the main road that takes you to Point Samson, you turn into Wickham, and we've stopped there because there's like an information bay, but there's some interesting things to look at. So let's go look at it
Let's go.
in the 41-degree heat.
We're going to leave the car running? I think so.
Okay.
I think we're going to turn it off today.
This ship anchor comes from an
You
iron...
say ship?
I said ship.
Okay,
I said
I thought you said something different, so I'm just trying to... Okay, go.
it comes from an iron ore bulk carrier. It was lost in 2010 and was found 15 metres below surface in 2015.
That's huge.
It's so big, isn't it? It weighs 12 tonnes.
12 tonnes.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Locomotives like this one are used to transport ore from mine sites to the coast along dedicated privately owned rail system. The journey can be up to 460 kilometres long. A typical train consists of 3 locomotives, 236 wagons, and is 2.5 kilometres long. Once the train arrives at Cape Lambert Port, the wagons enter the train unloaded. The wagons are rotated 180 degrees and the ore tips out into bins before being put onto conveyors at the port. All right, John.
Tracy.
Next spot. This is cute. This is not a. Well, I suppose it's part of history.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want me to tell you where we are?
Well, after we've spent the last half an hour in a wild goose.
It hasn't taken us half an hour. We've just driven a little bit, and I'll show you the landscape.
Probably a kilometre we've driven.
I might take my seatbelt off, Ada. I'll show you the landscape to. Yeah.
It's very vast and barren.
And I should have looked at Wikicamps first. I should have looked at Wikicamps first because, yeah, the people on Wikicamps that have put their reviews gave a good.
Yeah, so when you see the pile of rocks, turn right, and go up, 200 metres, and then it's on the right again.
Okay. This is the, hang on, where is it? This is Red Dog's burial site. Do you remember the movie Red Dog?
I love Red Dog.
Well, this is his burial site.
Why would they bury him out here?
I don't know.
This is like not an awful place, but
It's just weird,
what's
isn't
that word
it?
for it? It's just yeah,
Well,
I can't think it's it.
It's out of the way.
It's just,
Unless he died here, and this is where they found him, and he died. Anyhow, I'll tell you about the
so
Red
it's a
Dog.
movie made out this way, was it?
I don't know if the actual movie was made here, but
We need to watch that again, I think.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, we need to watch it again.
If you haven't watched the movie Red Dog, I'll tell you
Watch
what it's
it.
about.
It's a good movie. Good Australian movie. I
it
love
is.
Australian movies.
Ready? I'm going to tell them about it.
I'm ready.
Red Dog was the name given to a Kelpie cross dog who was well known across the northern section of WA. He gained his reputation for wandering nature across the Pilbara region. He never had an owner in his earlier life, I don't think. He just used to wander, right? He died in 1979 from poisoning. And he was believed to be born in the mining town of Parapadu in 1971. He died in 1979 from poisoning. I think I read it was that, you know, those baits they put around for wild dogs. I think he got one of them. There are 2 statues that pay tribute to his life, and one's in the Dampier, which we'll be going to, not today when we get to the Dampier, and one's in Paraburdoo. Paraburdoo, yeah. I remember one stage in Red Dog in the movie, he joins a bus driver.
Yes.
And the bus driver tries to... Well, that was real. That actually... From what I read, the whole story in the movie is real. So we're going to go up and I'll show you Red Dog's gravesite.
Okay.
Okay, are you going to come out?
I'll come out. I'll brave the heat. What is it at the moment?
It's 43 now. Was it 43
No, it's
before
41.
when we told you?
41.
It's 43 now at 20 past 10.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. All right. There's the main road here. So when you first drive in, you'll see a pile of rocks there. We drove in, not looking at any instructions, and we drove way up there. But it's not there. It's over here. Oh, people have left Red Dog bottles of water and dog toys. You all right?
Yeah.
And dog bones. Red Dog, born Paraburdoo, died Roebourne. He died on the 22nd of the 11th, 1979, roamed the Pilbara and beyond, buried in this vicinity, erected on behalf of his many friends by a mate who took him for his last ride. The Red Dog vet.
Interesting.
It's quite cute.
Very interesting. There's something in every little place you go to.
There is always something, isn't there? You've just got to look for them.
Good morning.
Point Samson is done.
Done, and it's a very pretty place.
Oh, it's so pretty here.
But hot and windy today.
Today the winds are like 36 kilometres an hour.
They're actually rocking the caravan side to side.
That's how I got woken up.
It's like, wow.
The caravan was
I don't
rocking.
think we've ever had winds like this before.
No, we've been in really windy places, but not with the caravan rocking.
Yeah. Did you find it was a struggle to walk outside?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. So, as you know, we whinge all the time. It's that time of year. What are we even in? December. Well, it is off season, so all wet season. There's hardly anyone around. It's been extreme temperatures here, but it actually, for here, because Point Samson is so pretty, it's kind of wrecked it for us, hasn't it? It's just...
Yeah.
We've been going out in the mornings, but by lunchtime it's like we have to go back into the van for the air conditioner. The van's actually rocking.
It's rocking as we're talking. It's crazy.
It's like there's an earthquake.
I feel like hooking the car up just to hold it down a bit.
I know. It's a bit scary. You think it's going to blow away. All right, so our next stop is Karratha. However, I have looked up...
Say that 5 times.
Karratha. No, I can't.
Okay.
I have
I'm
looked...
just like that.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. I have looked up the winds, and the winds are worse
Down there?
in Karratha.
Okay.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Don't know
Thanks,
where we're going to
guys.
be next week. We'll be somewhere. Don't know where.
We will be somewhere, obviously.
Yeah. See you.
Thanks, guys.